All right, let's dive into a real classic from the sci-fi legend Isaac Asimov. It's called The Fun They Had. And even though he wrote it way back in 1951, its picture of the future of education, well, it feels like it could have been written yesterday.
So our story opens with this diary entry from an 11-year-old girl named Margie. The year? 2157. And get this, finding a real book, one made of actual paper, is this huge, mind-blowing event. It immediately makes you wonder, what on earth happened to all the books?
So what is this weird object they found? For Margie and her friend Tommy, who's 13, this thing is a total curiosity. It's like a fossil from a lost world, something their grandfathers used to talk about.
And it's so fascinating to see this book through their eyes. The whole idea is just bizarre to them. Yellow, crinkly pages, words that just sit there and don't move on a screen. It's completely alien. Tommy even calls it a waste. See, in his world you have telebooks that can hold millions of stories. A paper book is just a one-time thing you throw away. It's a world that clearly values unlimited data over a physical object.
Okay, so to really get why they're so weirded out by a book, we have to understand their world. Let's take a look at what daily life is like for Margie, because it explains everything about why she feels the way she does about school.
When Tommy tells her the book is about school, Margie's reaction is just pure disgust. I hate school. And that line, right there, is our way into the whole point of the story. She doesn't just dislike it, she hates it. And now through this old book, we're about to find out exactly why her futuristic education is making her so miserable.
And here it is. This is the reason for all that hate. The mechanical teacher. It's not a person. It's this big, ugly black machine that just sits in a room in her house. It shows her lessons, it quizzes her, and it grades her work instantly. This machine, this is her entire school experience.
Just try to picture this. There's no classroom, no talking with friends, no raising your hand to ask a question. It's just you, a machine, and a special punch code you have to use to turn in your homework. I mean, sure, it's efficient, but it's also completely cold and impersonal. It's basically education with all the human parts stripped away.
And get this, these perfect machines, they're not so perfect. Margie had been failing her geography tests over and over, so her mom called an accounting inspector. And it turns out, it wasn't her fault at all. The machine was just programmed too fast for an 11-year-old. It's a great little detail that shows how even this super personalized system can be just plain frustrating and wrong.
So keeping all that in mind, this lonely, mechanical learning, you can imagine how confused Margie is when Tommy tells her that the book is about the old kind of school from centuries ago.
I mean, look at the difference here. It's night and day, right? In the past, school was the shared thing. All the kids went to a special building, they learned together. In Margie's time, school is something you do all by yourself, in a room, in your house, with a machine.
But the one thing, the idea that really just blows her mind, the thing she absolutely cannot wrap her head around, is that the teacher wasn't a machine.
Her question just says it all, doesn't it? The concept is so bizarre to her, it's almost funny. A human teacher? How could a person possibly know enough? In her world, knowledge comes from perfectly programmed machines, not from other people.
So Tommy starts explaining how it all worked. The teacher was a person who would actually talk to the kids, and because all the kids were learning the same thing, they could talk about it. They could help each other with homework. That whole social part of learning is just completely gone from Margie's life.
And here we get the core belief of the year 2157. Margie's just repeating what she's been taught, that education has to be individualized. A teacher has to be perfectly adjusted for every single kid. The old way of teaching a whole group of kids the same thing sounds totally backward and inefficient to them.
So just as Margie is getting fascinated by this idea of funny schools, reality comes crashing in. Her mom calls her, it's time for her lesson. And as she goes and sits in front of her mechanical teacher, her mind is a million miles away.
The machine just does its thing. The screen lights up, ready to start the lesson on fractions. It's this cold, automatic, predictable moment that's just the complete opposite of the exciting human world she was just imagining. And this is it. This is the heart of the whole story. While the machine is flashing equations at her, Margie isn't thinking about fractions. Not at all. She's picturing all those kids from the past, laughing and playing in a schoolyard, learning together from a real person. She's thinking about the friendship, the community, all the fun that her super efficient personalized education has completely forgotten about.
You know, it's amazing that Asimov wrote this in 1951, decades before AI learning or the internet, and yet his question is more important now than ever. As our own technology gets smarter and more personalized, he's asking us to stop and think about the human side of it all. In this big rush to make everything more efficient, what's the fun, that human connection, that we might be accidentally leaving behind?